message. Hey. All right, good morning. Yep, I think Kaden will be coming up in a little bit. She had to run to the bathroom real quick. So this morning, I have a little person here. Have you guys ever played with magnets before? Do you know what a magnet is? Here, watch this. If I set it right here, watch what happens. Woo! It just snaps right on there. And so today, we're going to pretend that this little magnet person right here on the center of this little platform is Jesus. And so in our story today, Jesus the story today reminds us of two really important things. The first one, that's a little person, isn't it? It's standing right there. And so Jesus reminds us today that if we follow his example and we help share the love of God with other people, that our lives are going to, what Jesus says, is bear fruit. So in other words, that means that we are going to help spread the love of God to everyone that we meet. And we can do that in a lot of really cool ways, by being kind and loving, and we can share. There's a lot of, and we can help people. There's a lot of ways we can share the love of God with other people. The second thing that we hear about today that we're reminded in our story is that we can do this if we allow ourselves to be pulled towards Jesus, kind of like this person here. So if it's one of us is like this, and that's Jesus, if we allow ourselves not to be distracted by the things in the world that keep us from paying attention to God, then we can be sucked in kind of like that. Like these magnets are. Look, we're all just getting sucked into Jesus because we're paying attention to God. And that's something that's really hard for us to do sometimes, because there's a lot of things in the world that distract us from Jesus and the good news of God, of God's love. Yeah. So if that's Jesus, and we help to share God's love with other people, we can get connected to Jesus. And then you know what Jesus asks us to do? To share that love with other people, which then brings other people in too. So then they can share the love of God with other people, and then they can share the love of God with other people. And we're all being pulled in to share the love. Yeah, it fell, didn't it? But we're all being pulled towards Jesus and God as we share the love of God with each other. And that's our good news today, is we're reminded that kind of like magnets, we're being pulled towards God and Jesus. And the best way for us to be able to do that is to pay attention to God and try not to be distracted by all the other things in the world. So with that, I'd love for you to please repeat after me in prayer, and I invite the congregation to join as well. Dear God, thank you for Jesus, and for your love, which is kind of like a magnet. Please help us to be drawn to you and your love, and not the crazy distractions of the world. We love you. Amen. All right. Thanks for coming up. And can I have those back? Thanks. I know, they're a lot of fun to play with, aren't they?